better robots, better all of that to go and do what the human being can't do, right? Now, that's regulated development. So, but if you wouldn't create a robot that can outwork a human being, because technology was to assist the human being. Remember a long time ago? Well, one plow, what if we build a tractor that can pull 8 plows, or whatever, right? And they can. We need hundreds of people on our farm in Arkansas. We was not well-to-do, but we was better off than most. So we hired people to chop cotton. You know, we used to grow cotton. Chop cotton used to be just, you walk between it and you chop the cotton. We call it chopping cotton. We hired a lot of people. So did everybody else, right? To chop that cotton. So we used to pick a lot of cotton. I know when I was 12, something, we went back down to Arkansas. I left when I was 6. So me and my brother, we're from California now, they were still picking cotton in the fields like that. They hadn't started using, some use these cotton pickers, but they were still, this is in the mid-50s. So we had remembered all that cotton picking. So we went out in the cotton field and, you pick your cotton, pull that long sack, then weigh the sack, and then you get paid according to how much the sack weighed. So we walked out there, we might have had our 49er jackets on. We was California by then. Then we walked down one row and back another. No, we didn't even get a whole row. We looked at the cotton sack, them fields, and we took them cotton sack. Either we threw it away, I think we did take it back to the white man that was weighing all the cotton. We might have had a pound or so of cotton. And we called that a day. Hey man, that was serious work. It looked reasonable, just walking through the field, picking cotton. We wasn't made for it. But anyway, for a long time, the last 200 years, the last 300 years, or even all of human history, we were trying to make tools and utensils to save and work, you know what I mean, and labor. But now we've gone too far. We're not regulating ourselves. The machinery was to go to take care, labor, they are called labor-saving devices, right? Labor-saving, not to do away with labor or the laborer, right, that got something out of his work. Imagine how stupid those big companies are. They're putting the people out of the work that buy their product. They haven't even thought about it yet. But guess what? Those machines, when I was a kid, they called it automation in the 60s early. That automation was going to do this, that, because it was so far advanced by then. They knew from the past that pretty soon it's going to put everybody out of work. That's what it did. They should have started planning then. They should have said in the mid-60s that we're in the range where we should start moderating or managing our evolution, accepting oceanography, medicine. You want to cure cancer, you want to do all that stuff. Of course, right? But you don't want to get rid of the patient. You want to cure the patient. What they got now will get rid of us. Can you imagine? Now, I don't want to get spooky, but the phones we have now have more ability, computer ability than these doggone, them old time satellites, Apollo and all that. We got more in our hand than they had, 2 or 3 times as much. Right? It can compute all of that, whatever. Hey man, technology is zooming, and in the last 5 and 10 years, it's done left the planet. Right? I'm talking about in the last 10 years, the technology done leaped from bam, back then. I mean, to way out there, and it's outpacing the ability of the human being to adjust to the changes. Therefore, and now remember, the companies that's managing technology, they give you a phone today. They could have put that phone out 10 years ago. They have this much technology that they could give, but no, they don't do that because of more money. We're giving you the super duper handheld, da-da-da-da-da. It's a number 10. Now they could pack that number 10 with everything they got off the drawing board. But no, they got to get you a number 11 next year. Right? They got to get you. And my kids and everybody else, they look at my old phone, they call it antique. It's called antique. This is an antique phone. But, and I tell them, hell, I can't even use all of this stuff I got already. I don't know nothing. I'm discovering things about, it's so simple, I'm so old-fashioned, that I realized that I could watch movies on the phone. My kid's been telling me for a decade, Dad, you don't have to take all of those DVDs with you. And why are you doing all those DVDs and all those CDs? They say you could punch a button and listen to all of those on the highway. When I go back on the highway, I get all my CDs and I get everything I want to listen to. And they say people don't use those anymore. So they don't use CDs. What's wrong with them? They don't use DVDs. Yes, a couple around, but I mean nobody's using them. I mean they use a few, but they're gone, Dad. They're gone. And I just pushed one button one day, and that was all the movies I could watch right on this little phone. I could watch it, and I could control the TV from the phone to put. Now that's new. That's old to y'all, but to me, well, I'll be doggone. So they're telling me to get a new phone. And I tell them, hell, I can't use this one. I don't know. As soon as I learn how to use all the stuff, they got stuff on here. I push a button, and I says, this thing does that. So I'm still discovering this antique. Because I'm from a generation, I'm sorry, I don't need no more technology. I don't even want it. You know why? When we got these phones, remember we used to remember a telephone? Well, maybe y'all didn't remember. But I remember the day when you knew all your telephone numbers. When I got this thing, if I leave my phone at home, I can't remember. I can't remember my best, I don't remember the brother's phone number. Because it's not necessary. The phone remembers. Damn phone knows everything. It is smart, Al. It knows everything. Because somebody's putting all that stuff in there. Now imagine in 10 years, if you create somebody that walk on stilts or battlefield soldier, and that you program him with all of that stuff, you create a few of those, and they have the ability to learn, guess what? It ain't take no dummy to know that they're gonna figure out how to reprogram each other, and then you got a whole group of things you created that it takes you 10 minutes to come to a conclusion, and it takes them 1 second. And you can lift 200 pounds, and they can lift 1,000. You gotta get rid of it. We gotta grab this human being, because he'll extinct niggas and himself. He'll extinct himself. We'll program morality into him. Bullcrap. Once you program the whole human history into a machine, he's gonna eventually come to the conclusion, probably in 30 seconds or less, that these beings is crazy, man. Look what they do. They crazy. So, hell, we might as well build a whole, maybe we'll put a few of them in a zoo to look at them and stuff. But they're unnecessary. I mean, that's just what white folks are saying. People on campuses, people are thinking, right? Isn't that what they're saying? They're saying, hey man, so anyway, we're not at the point of what we should do. We have to do this. I'm not putting up with it no more. And I'm gonna try to get with people that want to fix this thing. So, absurdity defense, teach peace, harmony. If you can teach war, right? You can teach peace. The use of technology, all those big aircraft carriers, right? We can take them right now and build giant barges. Maybe have 5 barges. One where people will sleep and work. One with agriculture, you know, where you can grow things and have. These are big giant barges. And the next one for whatever you want, for ocean cleanup. You can put them out on the ocean, and people stay out there for 6 months. You want something for the human being to do? We put all the human beings to work cleaning up this mess for the next 20 years. And we use all the technology we got, right, to do that. It's insane to have beautiful homes around the country and nobody living in them. And people are living in the street. See, y'all haven't seen California. Yes, they got homeless here. But they don't have long streets of homeless people. I don't know if y'all seen the TV. They got, as far as you can see, they're tents and huts. And remember the shanty towns in South Africa where they'd have tin roofs and you could see for miles? Soweto had 4 million people in it. And most of it is shanty towns, long, you know, mile after mile. When you go to Oakland, you see mile after mile. And I say, what has happened to Oakland? And in the last year, homelessness increased 47%. 47%. Okay, we got all these homes and nobody living in them. Why? Because they don't have any money. Paper, piece of paper. Can you imagine in the future what people will think of us? And listen, I don't believe it. The teacher will be telling them some kind of way, or it'll be on some little box. Yes, people in those days, they would have extra this, extra that. And they had starving people, but worldwide they wasted 35% of their food. Think of the food you buy. How much of it you throw away? Or, may not use it. It gets old. In my house, I said, you gotta leave the refrigerator. I said, please, don't buy any more food. They buy it anyway. Don't make no difference. And I said, well, at least take the old stuff and put it in the front and put the new stuff in the back. That's the way the old people used to do, so you recycle. They don't do that. They put the new stuff in the front. And then, after so much time, we have to throw it away. It's got a freezer burn on it. It's got a freezer burn. Yeah, see that chicken? It's got a freezer burn. That's what cut that little piece out. No. I said freezer burns. They say, when animals find a prehistoric animal that was where the glacier or something moved back and that animal is exposed, I said other animals, they eat that animal. And it was frozen, I don't know, a zillion years ago. No freezer burn. The animal don't die of anything. No upset stomach. No reports of animals with upset stomachs from eating. But that's the way our people are. It's not our people. How many of you go to your cabinet and plastic and everything falls out? Just falls out. It does. In my house, it definitely does. Because we got too much plastic. Everybody, when they buy something that's in plastic, they keep it, and it stacks up. Nobody needs that plastic. Where's it going to wind up? In the ocean. Now, this is what white folks say. They say that in a few years, it'll be more plastic in the ocean than fish. In a way, I believe it, but I don't believe it. How could that be? How could it be? And then you look at the television, and then you go to a beach or a river somewhere, and the thing got garbage all everywhere. All the plastic washed up on the ocean. Hey, I think it's true. I'm going to speed up. We got to get charge of this, and we got to manage our evolution. Because when money controls, there is no, it's like the wildcat days of searching for oil or gold rush. People just running, technology just running ahead madly. It's not managed. Here's what I'm saying. We are at the state now where we can visualize where we want to be, what we want to do. We can even, on the earth, we can have people that, like, say you want to live in an era like in the 20s. The 20s. Suppose you want to live in an era like, you see these people driving carriages, what they call them all. Carriages, right now, man, they drive carriages. The big black guy, do have good food. The honey is, everything is nice. They produce, they still plow with horses. They're getting it pretty bad. But suppose you want to live in that era. The earth is big. You can have the people that want to live in that period of time. Suppose you want to have future people that want to live in a futuristic era. You could have the futuristic state. This is the futuristic state. This is the past state. You want to live in the 18th type century, except for medicine, of course, right? You want to live like white folks used to call it roughing it. You know, during the hippie days, white kids was going back, this is 50 years, they was going back to the woods, to communes, because they looked at life as become corrupted. And they called it roughing it. They wanted to do away with this, turn this faucet on, water comes running out, right? They wanted to live close to nature. There's a lot of them. Suppose you want to live in that era. What's to prevent it? Nothing except we prevent it. We can do what we want now. All we got to do is convince enough people of these type of ideas, because other people got other good ideas, and we want to join with those people. We don't want to entrust the world to these bums that's doing it now. They're not doing a good job. They're the ones that made it like this. Okay. We have to develop an earth-friendly society, a human-friendly society, even an animal. Our policies have to reflect that. What challenges we would face to do this, internally and externally. We'll go over that later. But if you want to do that kind of good stuff, the ones that have the power, like now, they're going to use all that power and all that wealth to bring the worst out of the people so that they can prevent. They would flood us with snitches, tattletales, saboteurs. So that type of program could never work. We want, now, you think what we're talking about now is a big deal? You think about trying to do global good and see what happens. You think boss man is acting bad now? He's still dressed up. You wait till he take off his clothes. That boy has got a few tricks up his, he will not allow it to happen. So it's our will against his or theirs.